Welcome back, everybody. Derek Sue, your East Oakland advocate. Well, today I want to talk about cancer. And the reason why I want to talk about cancer is because former President of the United States, Joe Biden, has prostate cancer, and it's very serious. And it's stage 4. And the reason why I bring this up is we're all concerned about Joe Biden's cancer, but let me tell you, as a cancer survivor, it is survivable. A lot of cancers are survivable these days. I was the first one in my family to survive colon rectal cancer from two grandfathers that had colon rectal cancer and my dad that died of colon rectal cancer. So I'm the first one to survive that. And prostate cancer is another cancer that primarily goes after our older men, and uh, from the old adage was, if you're 50 or over, get screened for cancer, prostate cancer. You can kind of search for yourself by checking your own prostate or so. Then the other one, which is what I had. In fact, this month, May, makes the 10-year anniversary of me surviving colon rectal cancer. And um, in the video that I'm going to be putting up, I'm going to show you my day going to my oncologist over at Oakland Highland Hospital, now known as Wilma Chan Hospital. And I got all of my all good news. It was all good news. It was 10 years. Cancer, your oncologist, you and your oncologist are going to have a long-term relationship. Let me tell you, it is a long-term relationship. I remember my Dr. Stephen Yee at Highland Hospital 10 years ago. And that was when we first started the journey. And he's clearly said, this is going to be a very long-term journey for the both of us. And he was right. And I stayed with Highland Hospital. I stayed with the program. I was diagnosed with colon rectal cancer. I took the test in April, was given the news about my cancer at the end of April, and started treatments in the month of May. And then in the month of June, I had my chemo infusion. And so that was probably the worst, the chemo, because there's a lot of after effects that doctors cannot account for or cannot predict, because that's how unpredictable cancer and chemotherapy is. But it is an effective treatment when caught. When you catch the cancer early enough, uh, many cancers are treatable. That's the good news. And unfortunately, if you don't do the pre-screenings or screenings in a timely fashion, things like Joe Biden, he's probably, as the president of the United States, he was so busy, he didn't have time to do the screening. And also, he was at an advanced age, and he had not seen any problems earlier, probably, if he was screened at an earlier date. But still, both of these diseases are referred to as old man's diseases, because typically they only came about when a male was in his late 40s, early 50s. That's when these issues started propping up. But colon cancer is later in life, and typically it was seen in older males in their 60s and in their 70s. 60s if they were um, diagnosed with it early, and they were able to treat it. But in the early days, 60s and 70s, there wasn't a lot of information on colon rectal cancer, and so it was more or less back then a death sentence. Same thing with prostate cancer, but you could detect it earlier, and they told you how to do that. See, I don't have that issue anymore because I don't have either of those pieces of my body anymore. Those were removed 10 years ago in surgery. And so here I am. I'm a living testament for surviving cancer. And let me tell you, it is a journey. It's not simple. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of doctor's visits. And then also, there's a major change in your diet because the chemotherapy, the chemo infusions can change your taste buds, can taste or change a lot of things in your life. And so things change. Just like shortly after the chemo, the doctor said that you're going to not be able to do things that you had done in the past. And one of the examples, I used to do a lot of outdoor sports. I used to love snow skiing. I used to love water skiing, wakeboarding, wake surfing, and the boating. Well, now that's just not one of those things that are in the cards anymore. Because my balance it has been affected. The chemotherapy actually caused numbness in my feet, so I don't have. Um, I have about 50-60% feeling in the bottoms of my feet and my toes, but it's I still catch myself where it actually I can't feel anything, and so all of my walking is very deliberate, and I no longer run because I can't because I cannot my brain can't process and adjust for balance because my feet I don't have the same sensory as when I was younger. So things change, and cancer treatment, while it's a horrible situation to go through, is probably the worst part was right after I got home and I was getting my infusions in the summer. So hot summer days, you would like to drink something cool, but with my treatment, I couldn't do that because uh, it affected my throat and esophagus, and it felt like trying to swallow pins and needles. Literally, it hurt so much. It was extremely painful and uncomfortable. And the only thing that I could drink was room temperature water or hot drinks. And trying to do that in the summer just doesn't work very well. So anyway, uh, cancer is survivable, people, but uh, detecting it early so that you have time to work with, and also the doctors to help with the chemotherapy or radiation therapy or both. I had both uh, to help you along that journey. But again, like I said, it is a long-term journey between you and your oncologist. And so uh, it behooves you to make friends with your doctor and follow the doctor's advice. Your doctor knows best about what's going on with you as long as you're open and detailed about what you're experiencing, what you're going through. Just like in the beginning, and I told my doctor, Stephen Yee, I told him that I was not real fond of Western medicines, especially some of the side treatments that come along with the chemotherapy. They give you medication because you're going to be very nauseated, or some people can be very nauseated. And so there's medication to minimize that. And I said I didn't want that. Also, eating and diet was going to be up and down. And so I said, well, I'm going to use more holistic means. And I told Dr. Yee, my doctor oncologist, that I was going to use cannabis because I knew that cannabis can help slow the uh, progression of cancer, and also could be a deterrent on a lot of things because the cannabinoids in cannabis does um, do it turns on certain receptors that help treat cancer. So that was one of the things that I did tell him, and he was fine with. So make friends with your doctor. If you have some concerns, be sure to talk about them and get answers. You need to feel comfortable uh, all during the cancer treatment and the long-term uh, effects that are going to come along with that. It's just like I'm working with a lot of the things that I can no longer do because chemo and radiation affected a lot of my mobility, my balance, and many other things. So, anyway, enjoy what the few minutes here. I'm going to take you on that 1 day journey where I hop on BART, and then I'm going to go to the hospital, and I'm actually ending in the hospital in the waiting room waiting for Dr. Yi when the video ends. So watch this. There's a lot of good information on there. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Derek Sue, your East Oakland advocate. Well, I'm here at the Lake Merritt BART station. You see a lot of construction going on behind me. Plus, the parking lot's all closed off. So a lot of things are being done here. New buildings, they're putting in the foundation. So a lot of work going on here. But the reason why I'm here at the BART station is because I'm on my way to my uh, oncologist for my 10th anniversary of surviving colon cancer. So I'm going to be talking about that here. I'm going to get a picture with my oncologist because we've been together 10 years now. It was April 15th, 2015 when I was diagnosed with colon rectal cancer. So we're going to talk about that and the journey that I've had over the last 10 years. But the first thing that I got to do is get to the hospital. So I'm waiting for the shuttle for Wilma Chan Hospital, formerly Highland Hospital, to come by, pick me up, and then I make my appointment. So we'll be back when we get to the hospital. Welcome back, everybody. Derek Sue. And now we're inside the waiting room here for the doctor. This is, like I said, 10 years ago, I was diagnosed with colon rectal cancer, and I started radiation treatment at Summit Medical because Highland Hospital had not completed their remodel and the new building, which would hold the new radiation laboratory. So anyway, I was going to radiation treatment twice a week for a month. So all of May, Tuesdays and Thursdays were my radiation day. Probably the most difficult part was getting to my appointments because I myself, I'm a person that likes the early appointments, and so I always try to get in here, be the first one or second one, and no more than the third person arriving for the scheduled radiation treatments. And then what's interesting also with the radiation treatment, it directly targets where the cancer cells are. And so we had all of that. Also, right after that, then there was in the month of June, um, I was getting chemo before the surgery in July, because my surgery was July 8th of 2015. and that's when I actually had my rectum removed, because that's where they found the all the cancer cells congregated. It was barely, the doctor said it wasn't even 3 inches in, and it was just very cancerous. So that's why I'm on a bag now, and so I don't use toilet paper. But anyway, some of the side effects from the radiation um, wasn't too bad. It was the chemo that was really disturbing and painful. Not the chemo itself, but the uh, the after effects. Because when I get home, I'm really thirsty, and so one of the things that you had to do, you could not drink ice water, and um, most of this happened right when summer was starting to take off. So it was a miserable time for me. Um, the chemo, what it did, it affected my throat sensory, all the muscles and nerves in my throat. And when I would drink uh, ice water, it felt like trying to swallow a mouthful of needles. I mean, it was so painful. It was horrible. And that would last typically 24 to 32 hours after um, the chemo. And so the only time that I had a little bit of relief was on Saturday, Sunday, because my last chemo infusion was on a Thursday. So Friday would have been a bad day. Saturday it really tapered down, and then Sunday I could actually drink regular room temperature water or even ice water. But drinking warm fluids, hot water during the summer, it was a miserable time. And that was before the surgery. And then once we got into the surgery, let me tell you, that was something completely different. The surgery check-in wasn't too bad, and then the getting ready for the surgery that morning, because I checked in the morning of the surgery about 3 hours beforehand, and that's what they had requested. So got rolled into the surgery room, and met all of the staff, talked with people. They outlined everything. Then they put me under, and I don't know how long it was. I know when I came to, I was in an area called the CCU, Critical Care Unit, which is pretty common coming out of a major surgery like that. And later that evening, after I woke up and was more coherent, that's when Dr. Yi, my oncologist, uh, and the new surgeon that operated alongside Dr. Yi, uh, they gave me the news that they couldn't save my rectum, and that they installed uh, outlet for a bag for me to poop in a bag. So that's what's going on. But I'm going to wait here for a few minutes. The doctor's going to be here any moment. So we'll be right back.